Yes. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible to all of you? Is the voices loud and clear? And can we start the session? Right. Okay. So again, we are getting back to the sales. Okay. So starting with the basics of sales again. See, guys, let's remember one thing before we move forward. Objections. We always talk about objections, right? And objection handling sessions also we have taken a lot. So when we talk about objections, objections are not something that just happen. They are things that we cause. Okay. So often it is actually because of inexperienced sale people that they create these objection and they give something into the mouth of the customer that can lead to objections. So some of the objections also come up due to some specific situation. And when these objections occur, it's very crucial to understand the cause behind this objection. Because if you see every effect, there is a cause. So here, when we talk about objection, we need to understand the cause because we cannot treat the symptom or we cannot treat the effect. We need to treat the cause if we need to completely cure that. Okay. So for any effect, if you take, there are cause. If you are obese, there is a cause. If you are sick, there is a cause. If you are rich, there is a cause. If you are poor, there is a cause. So what we need to do is when you see objections, understand what is the reason for this objection, and that is very much required for handling that objection. So there can be various reasons for these objections, and sometimes it's the salesperson's lack of skill or perhaps a misunderstanding of the context. So when I say context, it means factors like current market condition. It could be one thing. If you see last year, our business was booming, right? So some of you were talking about that your business was booming last year, but now things are different. So someone again recently was mentioning about that in our group that market has become highly competitive and the prices have dropped. So we need to understand the real reason behind these changes and we need to take the action. So identifying the cause is very important. Now, understanding the true cause behind the objection is essential in any business or in any industry for that matter, whether it's a product or service. So, whatever is your business, your objection handling we have discussed. So, understanding objection is important. The cause behind this objection is also equally important. And that's what more important is. Every product or business go through the different stages. Let's understand the different stages. Let's say there is an introduction phase, and then there is a growth phase, and then there is a peak phase, and there is a declining phase. So when you talk about the introduction phase, that's when you just starting the business. So then it grows, right? And moving into a growth phase. And it can reach at its mature stage. That's when you reach at its peak. But once it peaks, what will happen? It will start to decline. You won't stand at the top all the time. It starts declining, and sometimes it can come down to the bottom also. So that's the natural cycle of anything. It's not only the business, and that is there in any business or in any case, and that's the natural cycle actually. So if you see, when we talk about this initial stage, that's the introduction phase. And what we do is usually during this phase, we face high expense because we are just coming up with a new idea and we are introducing a new product. So it is very difficult to make profit or income at this point of time. A lot of testing and experimentation, advertisements cost, and everything is there. So at this stage, it is unlikely that you will see any profit. But after the introduction phase, then comes the growth phase where additional efforts are not there more than what you have done in the initial phase. Some extra, but compared to what you have done in initial phase, and the profit that you're getting in this phase will be different. So here, your business will start growing. You will get more sales, and you will get more business, and you'll get more profit. And this is the hallmark of growth phase. So the demand drives the business at this stage, and the demand actually drives the business to its peak also. So after the growth phase, what we see a mature phase. And when we talk about mature phase, this is where profit stabilizes, but it doesn't necessarily increase further. So it's like this: you start and then goes like this growth phase, and here the profit stabilizes before it start declining. So sales and turnover, again, it grows and it gets stabilized at this point of time. We start noticing that the product of service is not growing as it used to do. So before it was like this, now it go like this: the sales and the profit. So again, finally, you will see a declining phase where the product or service start losing its momentum. The way it was going, the momentum is completely losing, and then it can decline also. So these are the four stages that you need to understand. It's a natural cycle. This is applicable in your business or in anything, any business also. Okay. Now, guys, in the first phase of the cycle, we encounter a favorable situation in the market. Normally, any new businessman will face it in the first phase of the cycle when the demand is high and the supply is low. So the competition is also minimal. And this is known as the blue ocean phase. Not this word, blue ocean phase, where there are few competition and we can set our prices without any objections. Whatever price you set, there are demand, people are willing to buy. But when this phase pass and we enter into the next phase, that's the red ocean phase, and it's actually characterized by oversupply. Supply is high, demand is less, and more competitors have actually entered the market, and terms and conditions that once worked in our favor may not hold any longer, or we may not exercise the same power. Okay, so that's the situation, and that's the red ocean phase. And as we move from blue ocean to red ocean, the market becomes flooded with supply. So there is an oversupply, but demand starts decreasing also. So supply is high, demand is low. So what is a favorable market condition here? The chances of price decrease, right? So initially there were only few players in the market, but that's not the case. More players, more supply, so the price is also reduced. So that won't allow you to dictate your terms. So initially that's not the case. Only few players, demand was less, and you were supplying at that point of time. So you can dictate your terms. But as more competitors enter, the market begin to decline. The price also will come down because of huge supply. And this pattern is visible in any industry, any business. There is a beginning, that's the initial phase. There is a growth phase, and there is a maturity phase, and then there is a eventual decline. Any new business which is coming, this is a phase, so that definitely will be there. Now, who's a real business person? Let's try to understand. So the real business person, if you see, is the one who recognizes the cycle and adapt accordingly. So you should know that this is how it need to be. You cannot keep expecting that, yeah, it was growing like this and I should keep on growing like that, or I should even grow even more faster than that. No, that's not the case. See, as the saying goes, masters copy and legends steal. You can just mark it somewhere, take it somewhere. Masters copy and legends steal. Observing what the innovators are doing can help you to navigate through these phases. So who are innovators? They brings the new ideas. They bring new ideas to the market. They introduce the changes and they set the trends. But trying to be an innovator ourselves, is it possible? Do we have that much time? Do we have that much patience? Do we have that much energy? Do we have that much money? So it requires a lot of patience and effort and money and a lot of experiments, and all those things are required for, from the side of an innovator. So someone who's innovating something new and making it as a business is spending a lot of time in his innovation part, and he brings that product in the market. So we don't have, that much significant time to spend on research or investment. So instead of attempting to innovate ourselves, don't try to find things yourself. What you need to do, observe these innovators and learn from them and implement their strategies wherever is possible. So you see what are the new changes which are coming. Keep observing this. That's what I told you. Masters copy and legends steal. There is nothing wrong in that. They are bringing up a new idea. You are taking that idea and implementing it. The faster you do it, the more better you will become. So these innovators can also be considered as the first movers. They are the ones who bring this idea or the concept or the business first in the market. But what you want to do is you want to watch them, you want to copy them, and you need to be the fast mover. So they are the first mover. They bring with the new idea. You need to be the fast mover. So that's where the profit potential is there. Innovation phase, nothing is there. fast moving. That's what actually required. So the ones who take the initial step to bring something new to the market, now whether it's in an international expo, where you see these attending these events actually allow you to see what's new and trending in our industry, right? Not only in our industry, if you want to, you can stretch further also. So even if our business is doing well, my point is, see, there is a natural cycle. You might have started and it is growing like this, but there will be a stage like this. So keep that in mind. And whenever you see such kind of opportunity to understand or identify the new trends, go for it. So we should be prepared for the next wave of innovation, because resting is not good for business people, and you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. So if we are complacent in the red ocean phase, we'll start facing difficulties. So when the market is flooded, trying to escape the crisis is much harder. Before that itself, you need to get prepared. The best time to prepare for a downturn is while things are still going well. If you're doing well, if you realize that you're doing well, that's the time when you need to escape from there. You need to shift from there, because the next phase is not going to be that attractive. So I have realized it in my different coaching. For example, if you see trading and other things, so I'm not doing much on that now, because I realized that the competition which is coming and the potential is actually very less now. So what I did, I changed from that. Now I'm teaching the business owners, right? So 300 plus people are sitting every day morning and attending this session. So getting that much of connection. So teaching business owners is what, again, and I also do that IAS coaching. So this will never end. Despite the competition, IAS coaching, especially at the higher levels of optionals, that is not going to affect too much. But obviously, when the competition rises, it is there, but still, I changed certain strategies. So that is what you need to understand. You need to be in a position to shift. When you are very comfortable, when you are at the peak, when you are doing good, that's when it is better to shift. When you are facing struggle, it is very difficult to shift or making any improvements or change. So don't wait for tough time to do experiment with new ideas. It can lead to mistakes also. So always experiment new things when you are doing good. When you are in your good time, that's when you need to do experiments. Okay. So during prosperous times, we have the cash flow also and resources also. You can do anything and without significant risk. But in tough times, either we may not have the cash flow or we may not be able to do that. So guys, during the growth stage, many business owners mistakenly believe that their business will always grow upward. And there's a misconception. It's very much essential to keep an eye on what innovators are doing within our industry. So to learn about the latest development and to position ourselves as fast movers, you need to keep watching these innovators and the new innovations and ideas which are coming in our industry. So the fast movers is what we want to become. We don't want to be the first mover. Someone might have started, but if you can implement it faster than the person who started, then you are going to capture the maximum potential of that. So see, what I want to tell you is the first mover bring a new product. It's often the fast movers who quickly adapt and implement that idea of the first movers who end up making maximum profit out of it. So see, fast movers are not inventing anything here, right? So everything is invented by the innovators. That's the first mover, but are identifying what works. There may be 10 options. You can keep watching 10 innovations. You have 10 options and you identify which work and make it implemented faster. So it's already tested. So you have 10 options which are already tested, and then you now select which one is going to work more, select that, work on that. Okay, so it's already tested. It's a new idea. It already got market acceptance. So when you know that, try to do it faster. So see, when it comes to innovators, they always look for perfection because they have created something. They want that perfection. So they will be slower. You need to be faster. If they see, they will do a lot of trials and developments, and fast movers can actually quickly copy that and adapt to the situation. Right. So this agility allows fast movers to capitalize on opportunities without bearing the high cost of development and research. You don't want to spend too much on that. And it actually gives them a significant advantage. So who We should be the fast movers, not the first mover. Okay. So guys, again, at this stage, if you see, the objections are minimal because you are positioned well within the industry. But a smart business person will also know when to exit. When you need to exit, when cash flows start to decline or the market begin to feel saturated. That's when you should exit from that and try to find something new. So it's time to consider moving to something new. That's the indication if you're not getting the cash flow. Exiting a business at the right time rather than waiting it for decline fully, it's not good. That's a hallmark of a savvy business person. Exit at the right time. Don't wait for, decline completely. Because we have to see that phase naturally. So the moment you see it is declining, that's the real business person. Okay, so this way you'll avoid getting trapped in that downturn and can reinvest in other growing areas. You don't have to take much stress also. And what I've seen is one of the most common mistake is getting emotionally attached to the profitable phase. I've told you there is a profitable phase, growth phase, and you assume that it will last forever. Many make money in one phase and then waste by reinvesting in the same business in the declining phase. In the growing phase, you make so much of money. So it gets saturated. You start investing more to that business. When it is declining, what you'll do is you'll start reinvesting all the money you made and start eventually losing it without knowing that the market is not demanding that now. And that lead to the debts. So people may not understand, when you exit early, but they don't see that you have recognized the beginning of a decline. That's what a smart business person will do. And cash flow issues or decreasing market demand signal the need for a strategic shift. So if you are in a business, if you have seen that growth phase, and now if you're not getting that cash flow, it's beginning of a declining phase. So what you need to do is think about new innovation, think about alternate options also. You can work on your business and you can improve that, but you need to think about it. Okay. So some people unfortunately have that, I call this uncle mentality. They resist accepting anything new, right? The all people mentality. So even when they see others succeeding with new products or ideas, they refuse to adapt and eventually fall behind. So the new ideas are coming, other people are adapting to that, they are becoming successful, but these uncles remain with the same business and fall behind. So initially, they may not recognize the change, but by the time they recognize that, they try to do it, but it's often too late. And then they end up struggling to catch up. So what I want to tell you and emphasize to you is always be the fast mover. You don't want to be the first mover. Always be the fast mover. Always try to copy. Don't try to innovate. Don't try to be the first. Get the idea from the innovator, implement it fast. Action taking is what we need. It's not about experimenting. Okay. So the mindsets again often lead to a cycle of entering the market late, exiting too late, and ultimately getting left behind by those who embraced change early. So the thing is that we need to make that change and adapt to the change faster. That's when you will be able to make more money out of it. See, guys, when we talk about this late entry, the cycle of entry, right? That just we have discussed the entry, rise, and eventual decline, or the growth, maturity, and decline. I have witnessed multiple times, not only in my business, my friend's business, and my mentees also, in the training industry also. If you see, for example, many were offering webinars during the pandemic free of cost, but I never did. Many of you might have attended my sessions. If you want to attend one sessions, I used to charge. During that time itself, when I started, I was charging around $1,000 per day session, 1 day session. And when I closed, almost at that point of time, per day, it was around 3,000, right? That's what I did. So I charged for my sessions and held the largest paid online session at that point of time, if you remember. We have taken thousands of students and taken session at that point of time during the budgets and some other events. So see, you don't want to follow the crowd. Identify the opportunity and do it. So that time, if you see, that's when I've made maximum money. We got around 1,500 to 2,000 students in that 1 year itself, right? Uh, 2022 mid to 2023 mid. That's the 1 year. We started from COVID time. We eventually grown up maximum students. This is when it peaked around 1,800 students in this 1 year. Before that, cumulative, we have around 1,500 students. 2020, we started the training. 2020 to 22, 2 years, we got 1,500. Then in that 1 year, that's when it peaked 1,800 and total around 3,300. And then we have around 4,000 students. But what is the average ticket size? It's 15,000 to 25,000, 1 month to 3 month program. So 15,000 to 25,000, and close to, we made around 8 crores something in the training program. Okay, so whatever. Now, again, what my point is, be the fast mover. So in business, when we talk about staying prepared for tough time is very crucial, right? So once you know the cycle and you know you can expect this, so getting prepared for it. So if cash flow declines and sales stagnate, or if you are forced to, lower your prices, that's a signal that the market is shifting. If you are not shifting, you are in danger. So it's time to consider exiting or transitioning to something new before you get stuck in a downward trend. Don't get stuck in that trend, because whatever you made here, you may lose here. Many people make that mistake of reinvesting in the declining phase. But if you can understand now the cycle, and if you can understand there is going to be a decline, then what you need is shifting. A new idea, a new innovation is what is required, rather than reinvesting all the profit you made in this phase to this phase. You can't restore the past profitability. Not possible, because market conditions have changed. Okay, it will only lead to further decline and end up in debts. So what we need, a strategic exit at the right time, is the wise decision. I've stopped taking classes for trading. Why? Because of so much of competition and so much of regulation. So there is no need to, it's not worth it, the time that you are spending. Instead, you can focus on many other creative areas. Okay, so some business owners become so much attached to this profitable phase that they fail to recognize the signs of decline. But the declining period have started. They are never going to that profitable phase again. That is never going to happen. But they fail to recognize, they keep reinvesting, and they end up in debts. That's something which is not, I don't want you to do that. Okay, so make a strategic shift. If you're in the growth phase, enjoy that. If you are in the top mature phase, then think about something new. If you realize that it is declining, it's time to shift. Okay, there is a possibility like this, and then a decline, and then this is not likely. The chances of coming down is high. From there, again, it can stagnate. But if you need like this, it went like this, decline, and then this, for that, you need innovation. That's what I'm talking about. Something new you need to bring in. With the existing setup, it won't go like this with the existing setup. Okay, so the fast movers will understand, and they can understand they don't need to invest in something completely new, but can achieve success by highly and quickly adapting and implementing the existing proven ideas. So the first movers innovate, invest, experiment, spend their time, they do everything, bring with the new idea which is required in the market. Fast movers just take it, implement it faster, make maximum out of it. What they need to do, they need to observe what works in the industry, make slight improvements from the first movers, and capture the market before others catch up. So being quick to adapt is more profitable than staying fixated on being the first to innovate. You don't want to innovate anything. You don't want to spend time on experiment, money on experiment, investments. No. Understand the demand of the market, implement it faster, a proven idea. Okay, the first movers spend a lot on research and development. Fast movers just copy and they reap the profits with much lower investment. Okay, again, the importance of understanding where value addition is truly needed is very much crucial when it comes to selling premium or ultra premium products. Customers are not drawn to high prices alone. There are premium customers. They're not only looking for high prices, they seek value and the privilege. So a premium product should reflect added benefits, like some comfort should be there, convenience should be there, quality, that should justify the price. When we talk about Mercedes Benz, is there any question about the comfort or convenience and the quality? When we talk about iPhone, will there be any negotiation? Why that is becoming premium? There's a reason. So it's not about offering the most expensive product, but delivering the most. It's about delivering the most value for what they are willing to pay. Okay, so guys, again we'll be back to sales. So any questions? Anything you want to discuss? I'll just unmute a few of you. I'll pause the recording and we can. Okay, now we'll be back to sales and objections. See, guys, in sales, when will the objection raise? Objection often raised from gaps in perceived value. See, if customers don't see the value or privilege in a premium product, they won't pay a premium price. Therefore, what you need to do is understanding the customer's expectation and presenting the unique benefits of your product or service effectively and in the best possible way is very much essential and very much required if you want to sell premium. So by focusing on value and building trust, you can turn objections into opportunities and you can create a loyal customer base. So what we need to do is focus on the value that you provide and it should justify the price. So it's not that you just keep a very high price and expecting that the premium customers will come and buy. To overcome objections, especially those related to the price, what you need to do is you need to work on your mindset as a salesperson. So you need to train your salesperson and you need to change the mindset of the salesperson. Price rejections often trigger fear, insecurity, and self-doubt that will impact the confidence of even the best salespeople. So training is required. Make them understand the quality of product, make them understand the value of the product, and that will justify the price. So overcoming these mental barriers that I've talked about, the fear, the self-doubt, they have the self-doubt. Then how can they sell the premium? So understanding and overcoming these barriers is very important. You need to have the confidence in your product. You need to have the confidence in your company and yourself essential. So train your salesperson, bring them that confidence of the product that they're selling and the company that they're working in and themselves also. And only with a strong mindset, you can successfully address objections and build trust with customers. Please understand that. Again, when we talk about sales, sales is ultimately a mind game between buyer and seller. It's a mind game. And the seller's job is to convince the buyer's mind. Right? So your salesperson is trying to convince the buyer's mind. And this actually requires skills of a doctor or even a neurosurgeon who can navigate the customer's mind and address their fears. That's when you'll get that outcome. That's when they will buy the product. So understanding the mental blocks that the customer face and handling that objections with precision like a doctor or a surgeon is the art of sale. And that need that confidence. Okay. So guys, if you look at the customer, let me make you understand from the side of a customer. Customer's brain during the sales process, or for that matter, in any case, is divided into three parts. There is a fear center. Okay, let's understand this in the context of a product or selling something. So there is a fear center, there is a logic center, and there is an emotional center. And buying mostly happen due to emotion. Okay, leave that. Let's talk about this. Fear center, logic center, and emotional center. Now, customers are often in their comfort zone with the fear center active. So always that fear center in the brain is active. And this fear center raises doubts like, do I really need this? Or should I stay with my current supplier? So what should be the role of the salesperson? to turn this fear into trust, right? So you have logic center, you have fear center, and you have emotional center. So first, your salesperson's job is to turn the fear center into the trust, making the customer feel comfortable with the decision to buy. So that's the first thing, because customer is always in the zone of that fear center. Okay, now if you can create trust in those three areas, there are three areas: the salesperson, the product, and the company. First, they should believe the salesperson, and then the product, and then the company. The fear in the customer's mind will turn the red into green. Then he will be willing to buy. So it's all about creating that trust, and building this trust is essential to overcome any objections to ensure that sale. And once you gain that customer's trust, their brain will give them the green light. So the red light will turn to green light, and they will be more likely to proceed with the purchase. And finally, if you see, once you have turned the fear center green, the customer's mind move to logic center. So initially they're like, should I buy this product? Now you change this into trust. So the fear center become green now. Now it will move to logic center. Here they will ask questions about the price. Yes, they decided to buy. Okay, let's proceed with this. Now the question comes from logic about the price, about the delivery, about after sales service, etc. Initially, the question was about to whether to purchase or not. Yeah, they decided, let's try this. Now the question is about price, delivery, sales service. That's the logic center. And it's essential to provide clear answers to these logical concerns. About the price, you need to justify the price. You talk about delivery and whatever questions. These are, I'm just giving some examples. These are what comes as this logic center. Okay, so this is where mostly the price rejections occur. So ensuring the customer understand the value they are receiving is critical in this logic phase. So here is where your salesperson's capability to explain the value of the product is important. So once you address the logic center, then the customer's mind move to the emotional center. So this is where they consider the brand's credibility after sales service and whether there is a money back guarantee, etc. So emotional concerns revolve around trust, whether the product will cause any issues or if support will be available if any such kind of problem arise. If you turn this fear, then the sale is done. So by turning the fear center, you will shift to logic center, and then from logic center you'll be shifting emotional center, turning all these red light to green light. That's when the sale will happen. Okay, that's when you will be fully winning the customer's confidence and completing the sale. Initially, when there are chances are very rare that the customer approach you with a decision that I'm going to buy it now. Okay, so see again, sometimes people think affordability is an issue, but it's rarely about affordability. It's all about your salesperson's mentality, whether he can change these three red signal to green or not. If a customer genuinely need or want a product, they'll find a way to pay for it. Don't think that your price is high, and don't think about discount at that point of time. If a customer genuinely need a product or want the product, if he can find value in that product, it's all about then your salesperson identifying his need and want and explaining the value that provide, and price is not a problem. Okay, so the reality is that if we have not convinced the customer, the sales will never happen. Okay, so when the customer's brain turns fully green, the fear center, the logic center, and the emotional center, then the sales go through. Otherwise, if they got stuck in any of this, sales won't happen. So this green light comes from whom? It is from the salesperson, the seller side. So if any part of your own brain, your fear, logic, or emotion have a red light, we are unlikely to convince the customer. But the issue is that our salesperson also have this red light. Even I feel that cost is high. If your salesperson think like this, then the logic center, your person's, uh, you know, uh, is in red light. So it's difficult. It's difficult to convince. So if we as sellers lack confidence in ourselves, I'm talking about you or your salesperson, whoever is dealing with the customer, okay, your product or your company, yourself, if you don't have confidence, that insecurity will definitely show in this process. So for instance, if you feel your product is too expensive, for example, your salesperson is considering that the product is expensive, and if you doubt the quality of the product, this will actually create a red signal within you, affecting your ability to sell. Then how can you convince the other person's logic center and turn red into green? You are already red in your logic center. So how can you turn the red signal of your customer to green signal in his logic center without turning your red to green? Impossible. So the sales won't happen. So what is the salesperson's role? It is basically to address and remove these mental barriers within themselves to achieve a fully green mindset. When a business owner try to sell without full confidence, they'll struggle to close the deal effectively. They cannot close the deal. Similarly, a salesperson's emotional state affect their performance. Now, hiring demotivated or unhappy person is very much risky. So when you're hiring people, you need to hire good people. It should not be because of some emotions or some sentiments you're going to hire people. No, that won't work. Someone who's emotionally distressed will have a red signal in their emotional center, which affect their ability to sell. See, sometimes you might be hiring persons who have some personal problems or financial stress or conflicts within family. You may not be able to know fully whether they are having conflict in family or not, but they won't have the focus and energy to engage the customer effectively. So why, if you see the big business centers and all, they'll have young, young people who have very good skills, and the way they communicate, very joyful people who are dealing with you, because of that reason. So it's very important for business owners to ensure your sales team is motivated and emotionally balanced. Just because your friend told that I came across a widow, she need a job, give a job to her. If you want, you can help her, but not as your salesperson. Okay, not as a salesperson, because sales won't happen. You won't survive. Simple. Okay, so this is why I emphasize the importance of training and coaching. That's why business owners need coaching. That's why sales team need coaching. That's why I take classes for your sales team and for you. You are sitting in front of me. So what I want you to do is, when you are attending these sessions, this is something which you need to teach to your sales team. I normally used to do that. Go to the business owners and I teach the sales team over there. But now I stopped it. Okay, because of my health issues. Okay, see guys, as business owners, you need to identify the red areas in you and your team members and work on that. Make it into green, then only you will win the customer. So if any part of your salespeople's mind has doubts or hesitations about the product, their ability to sell will be compromised completely. And a good leader will coach and train their team to remove these red signals, and that will completely change their mindset into green, and that will eventually enable effective sales. If you look at it, another key aspect of success is embracing automation. Very important. I always talk about this automation. So companies worldwide are replacing human sales role with automated systems. So why can't we do that? Machines don't have emotional distractions. Machines don't have fears. Machines don't have doubts about your product. So by adapting and adopting to technology, you can streamline your sales process and minimize human errors, human emotions. And guys, automation also allow you to operate 24 into 7 without any personal challenges and limitations that human salespeople may face. For example, if someone is calling to my office and they might the call might be international call and the timing may be different, and it might be night 10 o'clock here. So the salespeople might be sleeping. Then I lost that customer, international customer. So instead, what if I can automate and the system is answering the call and getting the sales done? It is 24 into 7. The sales also closed as per my instructions. No fear, no emotions, nothing. So I'm also shifting my own marketing and sales process to automation. Everything is almost now automated. with, you have the chatbots and CRM systems. We can communicate with customers efficiently at any time without the need for human intervention. And this actually eliminate distractions and ensure consistency, as machines are not affected by personal issues or emotions. Now, guys, adopting to these systems, it will free you a lot. It will give you a lot of time freedom and also resources. At the same time, it will improve the reliability in your customer interaction also. So the machine actually operate with the highest level of consistency and efficiency without any emotions. That's what actually we need, right? So unlike humans, if you see, who have changing emotions, machines will always be focused on the goal. What is the goal? What is the instruction given? That they will perform. That's why I don't trade now. I go for only algo trading. I don't trade personally. So there is no emotion because of what happened during my when I got detected with cancer. Then I that emotion came to me, and what happens if something happened to me? In that mindset, I traded and I lost a lot of money. Whatever I have made, I lost so much during that phase. Then I decided that I'm not going to trade, because in this situation when I'm emotionally completely down, I don't know whether I'll come back or not when I got detected with cancer. So I was not confident. I took that trades, but then because I wanted to make money if something happened to me. But it was actually not a good decision. It was an emotional decision. I realized, and then I decided that I'll be completely shifting to a system-driven setup. I'm not going to do anything because it is now saving time. I can teach. I can create content. I don't want to trade. System is trading for me. There is no emotion. Because of that, I'm not taking the training because that's not required. I can do much better. Okay. So what we were talking about? Yeah, the system, it never gets tired, it never gets stressed or emotionally distracted. And this level of reliability is why many companies are increasingly automating their process. If you look at many of the companies, especially the tech companies, of course, they're innovating, and that means sales will happen automatically. So replacing humans with machines in repetitive tasks, that's very easy also and can be done. By doing that, companies can ensure stable performance without risk of emotional fluctuations. Okay, so ultimately, what is the goal? The goal is to develop a system that allow the business to run independently of human emotions and limitations. That's the ultimate objective. Whether through automated sales process or CRM system, we need to remove human vulnerabilities to ensure the stable growth. That's the ultimate objective. So by doing this, we create a system that operate efficiently regardless of individual changes. Individual mindset changes, emotions changes, but that won't happen with the system. So this is the direction global businesses are heading now, and that's where I want you also to go. And it's essential to adapt it if you want to become, and if you want to stay in the business, if you want to remain competitive. Okay, so to see these things, the mainly the objections, to overcome these sales objections and the price rejections, it's very crucial that you think long term and prepare your business for resilience. As we discussed, understanding customer psychology, identifying the market phase is very important. I hope now you understood at least two things: market phase, yes; customer psychology, the three centers, very much required; and leverage automation. You understood the importance of that. So the key three takeaways of this session is this: understand the business cycle, and leverage the power of automation and customers mindset. Okay, so that's the key. uh, Again, guys, always try to focus on building trust and managing team morale. Team morale, the salespeople morale is very important. You can use technology to be consistent, you know, and to have quality interaction with the customer. So with these strategies, you can, I think, you can adapt to market changes, and you can overcome all the challenges effectively. Anything you want to ask now? I can unmute few of you. Okay, so let me pause recording. I'll unmute one by one, and then we will continue. Okay, let's continue, guys. So we were talking about sales. Okay, so yeah, sales is not just about persuasion, right? So it's again a comprehensive approach that combines understanding human psychology, as we have discussed, embracing technology, that again we discussed, and building a strong value-driven relationship with the customers. As business owners, what we need to do, we must be aware of both the opportunities and challenges within the industry. And what is the key here? The key for sustainable success is recognizing when to evolve, when to let go, and how to leverage the right tools for growth. So once you understand the market cycle and once you understood the importance of adapting to the technology and everything, it's very easy now for you to have a sustainable growth in business. So what you need now, focus on developing a robust, adaptable mindset and approach that you need to have a business success. And that can actually achieve long-term success in any market condition also. Okay. So what next? Should we take a break or continue? Let's take a break, 5 minutes, and then we'll continue. Okay. Right. So we can continue. Okay. So we were talking about, success in business, right? So guys, in business, the success depends upon, when to make changes. We discussed this already. So many actually fail to see this, situation, that when to make change, and they fail to or they fail to take changes or adapt to changes, and they hold on to the same approach, hoping for, continued success, but this often lead to disappointment. And observing market trends and the innovations of first movers can reveal new opportunities. So from the discussions that we have done so far, I hope this is very clear. But the thing is that instead of trying to replicate everything, it's essential to become a fast mover. You don't want to create new, you don't want to create or replicate everything. You identify one which is in demand in the market and be a fast mover and selectively adapt ideas that proven to work, avoiding the time and cost of original development. That is already done by the first mover. So this basically allow you to capitalize on trend without high initial investment. For instance, in industries where trends are constantly evolving, being adaptable is the key. When an industry reaches a point of saturation, moving on to next opportunity is often the most profitable decision rather than sticking to that. That is profitable because you have taken maximum potential of it and now it is saturated. Move on. That's it. Or you leave it to your team. Let the team take care. Don't put your effort on that. But don't invest more again on that. So if you see a consistent decline in cash flow and increasing competition or high supply, less demand, or difficulty in maintaining that previous pricing, and you need to reduce the price or giving discounts, these are signals that it's time to change. And many make the mistake of reinvesting their business during this phase. That you should not do. So guys, again, one of the common misconception is that the premium customers always want the most expensive option. That's not the case. That's not true. Premium and ultra premium customers, they are willing to pay, but they want value and will buy something only if they believe it adds value to their lives. Why they go for Mercedes? It not only priced high, it add value to their life. They might pay for a premium quality in one area, but choose budget options elsewhere if it doesn't hold personal importance. Right. So, for example, when they look for car, Mercedes they'll go for because it is very much required. It adds value. It saves their life in case of any accident. But certain other things, tissue paper, for example. Oh, I want to have that premium quality things. No. right? So it's not that everything they will, look for premium. So as a seller, it's essential to understand what aspect of your product add real value to attract the premium customers genuinely. So that's very important. Again, when it comes to the premium and ultra premium customers are attracted by value addition, not just by the price, not necessarily by seeing the highest price. You have the common item and you price it high, don't expect that the premium customers will come and buy. They seek value, they seek privilege or comfort from the product that they purchase. So if they don't see additional value, they look for less expensive option elsewhere. It is a common mindset mentality. So just because of a customer, has a higher budget, doesn't mean they will automatically choose the priciest option. Okay, they will think about the other options also. They will think about the value, and if the value satisfy them, then price is not a problem for them. So understand this distinction. That's very crucial for anyone aiming to sell a premium, sell anything to a premium customer. Very important. You take an example, an ultra premium customer shopping for something as simple as a toilet paper or a wash basin accessory. Even if they have the means to buy the most expensive option available in the market, they might still choose a basic product if it meets their needs without any added value. Yes or no? It's a simple thing only. So therefore, what you need to do when targeting the premium or ultra premium customer, focus on genuine value addition and comfort features that make a product stand out. So this could include like, if you see, but if I have the wash basin, something like automatic sensor, or when the mirror, self-dispensing liquid hand wash or face light, then that is adding value. Then they may consider that. Right? So a premium or ultra premium customer will pay for feature that enhance the convenience, hygiene, or luxury, or comfort. If you see, if you take an example, a high-end hotel, the kind of service that they provide, and a normal hotel, the kind of service that they provide, that itself will make you understand the difference. There is nothing much to explain over there. Okay, so the key to appealing to a premium customers lies in value differentiation. So this could mean providing convenience like hand-free hygiene product or premium customer service that elevate the product's worth. So for instance, if you see like before I told you, right, mirrors with automated lighting, the face light, if you have them with the time displays, then I tend to buy that. There is no issue with paying money, right? I'm talking about the wash area mirror for the new house that I'm going to build, right? So I can buy the normal product. If you have the normal product only, I can buy the normal product with less money. I see the options. If there is no value addition, if both are same, then why I need to go for a high priced one? But if I have more value, like these things which I've mentioned, the face light or the clock in the mirror itself and some other facilities, then I'll go for that because it is adding value to that. So I hope the session add some value to you. We'll continue this discussion. Let's look at two main reasons for objections. Okay, see guys, objections arise for primarily two reasons. What are they? Either we are not adding enough value, that's one thing, or the market is already saturated. So these are the two reasons why objections can come. So if we have the skill to overcome objections and the market still has growth potential, then the issue may be with our approach rather than the product. But if the market is truly saturated, it might be a sign to move on. There is no question, there is no second thought. It's a sign to move on. If a salesperson hear that repeated objection about pricing, it could indicate a skill-based problem in handling objection or a signal that the market needs new approach. And one of the biggest objection in sales is actually pricing. So customer may feel the price is too high. They might express this in various ways, saying things like, you're too expensive. I was not expecting that this much of cost. And what does this response mean? This response often triggers self-doubt in the salesperson also, because he himself is also thinking that the price is high. So overcoming these objections require a strong mindset and confidence in your pricing. You need to train your salesperson also. So if you can address this mindset barrier, you will be able to handle objections effectively. Confidence in your product, your company, and value proposition is again very, very important. And to overcome the price is too high objection, it's essential to change your mindset. Again and again, I'm talking. Price is all about mindset. Selling to premium customers is also again a mindset. So often salespeople feel rejected when they hear this phrase, as it's perceived as a form of rejection. No, that's not the case. If you see, handling objection effectively requires self-belief and confidence. Once you are confident and you can justify the price, then you can convince the customer. The key is to display a mind game where you focus on your product value, maintain your self-esteem, and the project and product confidence. That will help the customer to see the true potential and value and the worth of the product or the services that your company is offering. That's what actually required. So when a salesperson hear the pricing objection, what will happen? It often shakes his confidence. The first thing will be price objection. That itself will shake his confidence. And even the most confident salesperson can feel moment of doubt when the customer says the price is too high. Despite the fact that he might have heard this many times, but still that will be the case. There will be a self-doubt which is coming. And it's essential to recognize this reaction and not let it impact your energy or belief in the product. So your response should be grounded with confidence, right? And your knowledge of the value of the product have to be made it very clear with the customer. So when faced with these kinds of objection, remember that overcoming them starts with your own mindset. So that's why, guys, I always tell you, get trained yourself and your salespeople. So if you see a customer's objection to pricing can create an internal challenge for the salesperson, that is very common. He also feel that self-doubt. He also have that self-doubt. So this objection can be a trigger that, making even experienced salespeople feel uncertain and, not feeling good, uncomfortable at that point of time. And to handle it well, what you need, a salesperson need to approach the situation calmly, focusing on their own mindset, making them understand the value of the product and the product that offers. So internalizing the importance of the product and the benefit it provide help to counteract any immediate fear of rejection that may arise. So what you need to do is now make the salesperson understand the true value of the product. Give them clear idea. This is what they are getting. And there's the actual value of the product. It's beyond the price. If you have that confidence, then you can sell it. Otherwise, you'll struggle. Okay. So again and again, I'm repeating that it's a mental game. So you can think of salespeople as doctors also, just before I have mentioned, right? Performing a kind of surgery or operation in the customer's mindset. What is the goal? The goal is to make the customer see the value in the product and overcome any kind of hesitation. And the goal is to make the customer see the value in the product and understand the true potential of the product. So normally a successful salespeople can actually skillfully address and dissolve such kind of objection by engaging directly with the customer's mindset. So over a period of time, the salespeople will be able to manage that kind of situations. Again, guys, as we discussed, customers' brain have three parts in the decision-making process, right? The fear center, and that triggers the caution and skepticism, and that often causing the customers to hesitate or think of reason not to buy. And when customer meets a salesperson for the first time, the fear center is typically high alert. We discussed it already. So the salesperson job is what? Is to reduce this fear by building trust and making the customer feel comfortable with the product, company, and also the salesperson. And this initial fear, in the customer's brain is often red. That create that red signal that you will have to change into a green signal. And then comes the logic center. And then comes the emotional center. Once you clear everything, you will be going through the sale. So I hope that process is also very clear. Again, when we talk about any sale, trust is very important, right? And from where the trust begin? The trust basically begin with the salesperson. Now, customer buy from people, right? And not the product alone. So the first step is to make the customer comfortable with the salesperson, which can be achieved by showing respect, professionalism, and confidence. So if a salesperson appear untrustworthy or unprepared, it immediately activate the customer's fear center. So to succeed, the salesperson must establish trust with the customer and that create a foundation for the rest of the sale process. The next area of trust is the product. So a customer need to believe in the product's quality and the effectiveness and relevance to their needs. And if the salesperson has limited knowledge about the product or he seems unsure, then the customer's confidence will decrease. And the salesperson should know the product inside out, everything about the product, and to be confidently answer questions and address any doubts that the customer asks. And this product knowledge basically reinforces the trust and shows the customer that they are making a wise investment. And the third area of trust is in the company itself. The customer need to feel assured that the company stands behind its product and it offers support if any issue arises. If the customer senses any instability or unreliability, their fear center will remain active again. And a salesperson who can confidently present the company's strength, reputation, and commitment to customer satisfaction, that will help to reduce the customer's concern. And together, all the three, trust in salesperson, trust in product, and the company, can turn the customer's fear center from red to green. So I hope that, guys, we can continue tomorrow. So we'll stop for the day today. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. So we'll stop for the day. See you tomorrow.